Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow.
Hi, everyone. Very happy to be live with Hannah Hendy. Tell us a bit about yourself and your books to get us started.
So thank you for having me on again this year, after last year. I'm Hannah Hendy, and I write a book series called The Lady Detectives, which is cozy crime published by Canelo Crime. And it's a series of books. So this one that's come out now called A Gravely Troubling Discovery is the 5th book in the series. And it's just about a lady team that kind of potter about solving murders by accident. Something like that, really. They're getting better at it as they go, I think.
They are, and I like the kind of incidental characters in it.
Yeah, like the townspeople that kind of, there's like a lot of people now in there.
Yeah, the townspeople, like the year 11 kids who are like helping. You know, they come and they're like, oh, they do a podcast.
Yeah.
And things like that. I think they're great. Like the
There's
ones
quite a lot going on in this book.
I really enjoy those.
Yeah, so I think the 11 kids come back a little bit because they've helped Clementine set up this website that she doesn't know how to use. So they're back.
Which makes sense because she wouldn't know how to use.
No, I don't know how to use a website. I've got a website, I don't know how to use it. I set it up and I was like, hopefully people can look at that. I don't know.
But you set it up yourself, which is something.
Yeah, but you used Wix. Wix are just like, you just basically put your name in it and they do it for you. You pay like £100 for the year or something. So I think I'm pretty much Clementine in that regard.
There's who else was I trying to think about there? Like in this one, there's like the local man who writes down all the people who've gone missing from town.
Yeah, and then some of them haven't actually gone missing. They've gone on holiday. So Marjorie and Clementine don't take it very seriously, and then yeah, it turns out to be much more serious than it first appears.
Much more useful than first appeared.
Yeah, much more useful. That's something that's right. But yeah, so I had this book's really weird because I had two things that I was going to do. So the thing that happens, like obviously you've read it, like so midway there's like a thing that happens, and that was originally the first thing that was going to happen, and I just couldn't get it to work. So then I added the rest of the plot and then added it back in halfway through because I was like, it's cozy crime, so you can kind of do what you want, and it doesn't really matter if it's a little bit unrealistic in a way. So it's like I'll just smush all the plots together because I was writing it. I was like, oh, this is bored. I feel bored of writing this like this. So I was like, well, if I'm bored, then people reading it will be bored. So I was like, just add loads more mental stuff and see if something sticks.
There's more mental stuff to see.
Yeah, just like chuck some stuff.
Yeah,
So we had a baby in the time that I was writing it. So it was just, I know actually, I think I edited it it was edited and done just before the baby came. So like I had to go back before it came out and like read it again because I don't remember what happened to it. It's like pre-baby and after baby. I was like two different people. So yeah, that's all right actually.
This is the problem though, isn't it? That I think a lot of authors have, even without the baby kind of added
the stuff that's going on in your life is like,
well, also like it takes so long to write a book, doesn't it, that you're often like publish it. So then when you've published it, you've often are already on like the next book in the series.
Yeah, so
your mind will be on that book, and then this book will be something you've done like a year and a bit ago or something like that.
I kept forgetting the title as well. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. Let's just wipe this book out. But yeah, so I finished book 6 and that handed in on the same day that this book came out. So it's really confusing. So I was like, book 6, but book 6 isn't done yet. I don't know. I'm waiting for it to come back to see what's wrong with it.
But there is going to be a book 6, which is good.
There's definitely going to be a book 6, and there's definitely going to be book 7. And there might be some more books. But I don't know yet. It's not confirmed yet.
Well, but
We'll see.
it's good news. People who are fans of them.
Yeah. I don't know. People might be like, "Oh my god, this is too many now. How many more murdered? There'll be no one left in the town, is there? They're all
No,
dead."
it's like a little fan, and they do comment on that, don't they? They do
Yeah.
say that there's
Like, how
been
many
lots of.
more? Oh, I can kill them. That's fine. I'm sure I can find someone to kill.
What I really like about them is that you grow. Wait, I mean, you grow attached to Marjorie and Clementine anyway, don't you? Like, they're just brilliant. They're like the
Oh,
best
thank you.
characters. But then you kind of grow attached to like the whole like dinner lady, nourishment
Yeah.
consultant, which is a stupid name.
Like it is when I worked at the college, everyone had titles like that, and that's where I got it from. I thought that's because it is a bit like that, isn't it, in education? Like you work in education, it is quite everything's quite like regimented, and everyone's got titles that like mean nothing. I think my title at college was like kitchen coordinator slash something else. I was like, what does that mean though? It means nothing. I was just like running the kitchens, but like yeah, no random title. But yeah, I thought, yeah, it's like little bits from my life. So it's quite nice now to look back because like when I was writing book 6, that's like when my daughter was here. So it's like I'll remember that now. Like that was a book I was writing when she was first here. It was
Oh,
weird.
that's nice though.
Yeah, it's really nice. I'm like, oh god, it's really hard to write now that she's here as well because it's just different, isn't it? I think I can't just be like before. I just be like, oh yeah, I'll just write whatever, whenever. And now I have to like, okay, I've got 2 days a week to do everything in, which I'm really lucky to have though. 'Cause lots of people write and don't have a full day to do it. But yeah, so I have to plan my life now. Can't be so. Got to be a plotter, maybe a bit more. Don't know. I have to actually write what I think's going to happen.
That might not be a bad thing. I think the trouble is that maybe this is an education thing as well. I think people who work in education basically just chaos life.
Yeah,
Do you
I
know what I
think
mean? I'm
a
definitely
year
like
and a half.
chaos.
I worked there a year at the college for a year and a half. And yeah, it is like that though. But it's like very regimented, but also like mental, and everyone's just like you've got like your program manager, and then everyone underneath is just kind of doing what they think they should do. But then it's yeah, but following a curriculum, but also doing what they want to anyway.
The best is when you get paired up with someone. So my manager is like the most organized person in the world. Like they have lists and things planned like really in advance.
Yeah,
And
got like
last
the whole
week,
year plan.
I'll be like, I don't know, like right tomorrow, okay,
Like I
I'll
plan
work
it.
out.
It's like you need to have like your calendar done for the year of what you're going to do, like and what lessons you're going to do. And I was like, I'm not very good at this because it's not
No,
spontaneous enough.
I'm very not like that. It's
No, I don't want to plan. And I thought maybe education wasn't really for me, maybe because I'm not a planner. And the
Sarah
kids need that structure, don't they? Do you know what I mean?
Blackburn said that she is loving knowing there's more books coming.
Oh, thank you so much. I just, yeah, it's like people who've read them. I hope that they just like them still. You know, I always like. There's a couple of readers, and I'm like, they always get it on NetGalley or they always review, and I like wait to see what they think when it goes on NetGalley. I got my finger, everything's crossed, and if they like it, then that's everything, really.
I have like I think I mean I like the first one, and I've read all of them now apart from the Christmas one because I still can't find that. I
Oh
think I'm
yeah,
gonna
it's
have to
really
buy the bullet and
works
download it to my
this
Kindle.
year. Sorry.
I said I just might have to buy the bullet and download it onto my Kindle.
I just got a Kindle and it's so good. I'm so glad I bought a Kindle again. I had one ages ago and I just keep reading things on my phone and it just doesn't work, does it really? It's not the same. I think Kindle's really good.
But yeah, apart from that, I read all of them, and I just as I've gone on, I've liked them more.
I think I've got better writers. I think the first one's like, I was just like, I wasn't expecting it to be published. I was just writing it because I thought it was funny. And yeah, it was just like my little thing that I was doing without any expectation. And I think there's quite a lot of things like there's like weird turns of phrase and stuff in there that I just thought were funny, and I put in, and a couple of years later you have people like, that's not the right grammar. I'm like, oh no.
But they are funny.
Yeah.
Like there is like that amusing kind of moments in them, isn't there? There's one in this one that I really loved where they kind of go and do like a little mini heist type thing, and it's just as gloriously incompetent as you would imagine it would be.
It just goes like as wrong as it could go.
Yeah.
I was just like, the whole thing was because we go to this golf course, and every time we take the baby like swimming, but we've gone there before to go swimming, and I was like, wouldn't it be good if this happened? And then I like it when all the dinner lady team are together. So this is why I'm worried about 6. I'm like, oh, does 6 have enough things like that? I don't know. I'm gonna see. Maybe when the edit comes back, I'll be like, oh, actually, this could be good in it. I don't know.
It's that moment of finding like a body under the school as well, isn't it? I'm not giving a spoiler away because that's how it starts.
Yeah, it literally starts like that.
Yeah, we just realised that I've said that, and we like try not to give away. It is like the beginning, so I haven't.
Yes, it's like the main premise is so Marjorie and Clementine, they're just kind of chilling at home, and Mrs. Mugglethwaite, the local gossip person of the village, turns up, and she's got her friend. She's dragged her friend along, called Evelyn, who she's like, well, Evelyn's husband's having an affair, and you need to prove it. And she gets Evelyn to hire them to find out if her husband's having an affair. And they're like, okay, that's fine. It's not murder. And the police are fine with that because we're not getting involved in anything weird. And then literally they go back to school, and then there's been playground renovations happening, and the body is dug up on the playground. And then Marjorie and Clementine decide that we're not getting involved in that. But obviously they end up getting involved. But it's quite nice now because I always write a prologue now, and I try and do like a different character's perspective because it's fun for me. I was like, so the prologue this time is Rose being there when the body is discovered, and I thought that's quite nice to be inside her head for a minute. It's interesting.
I don't think I'd want to be in Rose's head for long.
No, she's quite, yeah. I was like, she's quite full on. But it's lots of fun. I can imagine, yeah. I don't know if I want to be friends with Rose.
But there are a lot of Roses in education.
Yeah.
Like there is, I think anyone who works in a school knows a Rose.
Yeah. They're like so passionate, but also like a bit rude. And you're a bit frightened of them, but they get the job done. So, and it's good to know them because they can help you, but only if they want to. I think that sums her up really.
Yeah, there's like it's the other things that made me giggle in this one were the moments when she's going around going like, no, the science teacher has to take down their display because it's about like how this like thing's going to destroy the world or
Oh yeah, there's that. Oh, the art teacher's got a display of like, I can't remember what it is. It's something like it's like Saturn eating his son or something. He's got a display up of it, and they're having this big school inspection. Yeah. It's quite nice, this book, to like, you can just chuck in loads of stuff that I think's funny.
Yeah, no, but they were great. I'm hoping you're not predicting the future of my school because we're having like a load of No, that's not going to happen for a while. We've had them in recently, but it's they're currently ripping up the car park.
Oh no!
The road. And it could be because it used to be a hospital. It's like an old Victorian hospital building, so there could very well be bodies.
Yeah. Hopefully skeletons, though, if there is a body under there.
Yeah, you do say, but I'm like, I wonder if we'd go back and they'd be like, there was a body.
And then you'd have no choice but to investigate, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, as well as the detectives.
You have to go down to like, you don't have dinner ladies at your school, do you? You'd be stuck. You wouldn't have anyone to ask to help you.
Well, we'll book Marjorie and Clementine.
You just pick them up.
Yeah.
Pay them £100.
Look into their website.
I just had this thing with it when we were editing it. So I had this editor called Russell who's great, and I really like working with him. And he was like, "What if they begin charging for it, but they don't really know what to charge as a price because it's like a really random. They're not really PIs, are they, or anything?" And so I kind of added that where like they've got this really arbitrary price, but they can also make like you a cake included in the price of detecting the murder or whatever. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice having like an editor to look at everything and help you.
Yeah, well,
things.
Sarah said she's one of the reviewers that always gets your books.
Yeah, I think is it Sarah? I won't say her name, Sarah. Yeah, yeah. There's like 2-3 people. I think they know who they are actually. If Sarah knows who she is. I always wait. I'm like, oh, I hope you like it. Yeah, and if they like it, then that's fine. It's all right. Because I worry because it's a long time, isn't it, from book 1 to now? And I'm like, and my writing just changed because obviously you change as a person, and I don't want to like just copy the same book every single time because it's not authentic, then, is it? But I don't. But then I worry that the way I write is changing in a way that people won't like. I don't know, something like that.
No, because I think the core of like the people and the team and
that stays the same, and then everything else kind of nothing really changes that much around them. But I think the first book's definitely like the silliest book with the most like little jokes and stuff in. I think it's not as fun anymore. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's still like real moments of joy in it, I think.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that there's enough of that to keep people happy.
And they're always, like you said, they're very different each time, isn't there? Because we've even had them out of the village solving like murders and things, and then we've had ones that have been more on your kind of chef background, like with poisons and foraging as well.
Yeah.
So
see where they go. I have a plan though, because I don't know what I'm allowed to say really. But I had it, so I got to 7, which I'm going to start in a minute. I'm going to wait till after August and have a bit of a break, and then I'm going to start in September because I've got till April to hand it in. So that's quite a nice time. So I'll probably storyboard it, which I haven't done before. It's quite exciting, isn't it? And actually write down what I think is going to happen, and then it'll change anyway. But then the original plot for 7, I want to change so it doesn't end at 7. It was going to end like definitely at 7. And I don't think it is now. I've got more to say. They've got more to do. I don't know.
do you have a sort of idea in your head of how it's going to end then? Do you know?
Yeah. So I know we're on to end there. But just getting there. So I think book 6 is kind of setting up the ending, but not entirely. So I'm going to leave it so it's not quite ended there. Just for like the joy of it, really. I really like writing them, and I was like, I don't want it to end now. Selfishly, just keep it going.
Sarah says, if there's a new reader started your series, could the books be read out of order, or is it best to read in order?
I think you could read them out of order. I don't know. I'm really terrible for reading. I'll read anything out of order. If you know what I mean.
Do you?
So, yeah, I don't care. And I'm like really bad with spoilers anyway. I'll like go on Wikipedia as I'm watching a film and look up what happened.
Oh no, I don't mind doing that. I'm not gonna judge you for the I don't care about spoilers. Which is really good. My dad tends to read books and be like, "You'll like this bit when you get there."
When you get there. I used to do that with my mum. I like walked in the room one day and they were watching Coronation Street, and I was like, I didn't realise they were watching it on catch up, and I was like, oh, is he still alive? Because this character had died, and they were both like, and they were watching like catch up from 2 weeks ago or something, and hadn't got there yet. I think they've caught up now. They both retired now, so hopefully they've caught up on Coronation Street. But yeah, I think you can read them. I think it's a really hard like balance to put enough so that there is like callbacks to stuff, but then there's not enough that'll ruin everything. It's very difficult.
I think maybe the only one that would is that, like, if you went completely in the wrong order, you would know Marjorie and Clem's relationship when you don't know for sure in, like, book 1.
Yeah, and like Marjorie isn't the kitchen manager in book 1, is she? She's like, I think from book 2 she is. And there's like little other things, like Carrie Ann's got a baby now in the book, and there's like little things with the characters that are, I don't know, because I read Harry Potter out of order originally.
Did you?
Yeah, I read the second one. I think I read the second one and then the first one. It was like, I don't know whether that was just because that's the way it came out. And I just, when you're a kid, you don't have access to everything. But I read loads of stuff like that. I don't know, but it is difficult, isn't it? And then depending on what editor you have, different editors will want, and different proofreaders will suggest different amounts of information from the last books.
Really?
So
Um,
I don't know.
yeah. I'm a read books in order kind of person.
Yeah, you like wait and then, because I think if you do read the Christmas one, I don't think much has been ruined for you from the Christmas one, if you know what I mean. I don't think, because I don't think I've ever said who a murderer was or something.
No, I'm also quite completionisty though, so once I started, like, if I really like something, I've got to go and finish all of it.
Oh, I don't know, it's difficult, isn't it?
But yeah, I do like doing this, you know, where you have to interview people. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you'll get sent like an author's book to read for the interview, or you'll get an author to read about like a book with a book, you know, and they'll want to talk about it, but you have to read it. But sometimes it'll be like book 4 out of
Yeah, and you haven't read the rest of them.
and you don't know who they are until you read that one. So you do get a bit better. I'm a bit better at it now. Like at one point, I wouldn't have read them out of order. I would have gone and found the first one.
Oh, that's so much time though, isn't it? Because I can imagine you have to read quite a lot for this.
Yeah. No, now I will just read.
Which is lovely in a way, isn't it? Because you get to read loads of those books, but also you don't always have time to read loads of those books, but especially when you're working and stuff.
It's really lovely when you get people like you whose books you really enjoy, and you're like, yay. Read the next one.
Mine are short as well. I think it's like 70,000 words. So I'm like, that's it, that's done. That's quite short, really.
Do you think that's a feature of like cozy crime books though?
The average is between 70 to 80,000 words. I think if you went over that, people would be like, no.
Although I feel like the Thursday Murder Club books that are cozy are quite
but I know that, yeah, he's less cozy crime than a cozy. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because it is. I don't know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like,
yeah, they're a bit more gruesome, aren't they?
Yeah,
like
they're quite dark.
Like your books, no one.
There's not really anything on screen or.
No, there's never anything on screen, is there? And it's all quite wholesome.
Yeah, Richard Osman's probably got more to say than me.
Only with like tea and
got better prose than me. Do you know what I mean? He's got more to write about. He can describe things in a nicer way. Just like the biscuits.
I kind of like the moments when they're like planning like out their things and they like have to go and get the Christmas Quality Street or like, you know, I need a better cardigan.
Yeah. I feel like Richard Osman doesn't have that problem. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
I don't know. I think
serious writer.
They've all like crazy books have got their own quirks, haven't they?
Yeah, because he's got a character, isn't he? Who's quite funny, Joyce. I feel like, yeah, I think every cozy's got a character that people really like.
I quite like Ron in the Thursday Murder Club.
Yeah,
Foul Mouth Football.
Because there's groups of, I think lots of cozies like that, isn't there? There's a group of people. It's like what's the one I just read? Oh, J.M. Hall. Oh, the new one. What's it? The group of ladies are really fun, aren't they? And they've all got different families, and yeah, and you get really involved in their lives and their family lives.
Yeah, like you do with yours, because you're interested in what's going to happen.
Yeah. About
the
the end of the day, isn't it? And
like the
the
baby.
murders kind of just like happened.
Well, they all want to get involved in the detective work as well, don't they? They're not,
Yeah.
like all the others that are around them are like still.
I feel like Marjorie and Clementine should start paying the other dinner ladies for their help, because I think like Gloria and Karen, I think because Karen's now their computer expert because she had a MySpace page that she did HTML coding on. So now she's their like hacker of computers.
Which does tell you someone's a certain age, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's my millennial, isn't it? Old millennial.
I didn't have a MySpace page.
Did you not? I think I was like,
I'm of the age where I could have done.
I think because I was born in 1988, so when MySpace came out, I was like 15 or 16, and it was like the perfect time. I think social media was better then. Well, so it was very old, but it was definitely much more fun. And like you'd have you go on your page and you put a song on there. It was great, isn't it? Can't do that on Facebook.
We can. You just have to
I had the My Chemical Romance song that plays every time someone goes on your page. You can play like friends chess and change the top 8. If you fell out with someone, you could swap them in your order of friends, so that they'd know you were really annoyed at them.
Yeah, you can't do that on Facebook, can you? I don't think I didn't really do so. I'm not very sociable, to be fair.
No, I don't really do.
I
have Facebook because of my author page, but I don't really use it for me now. Like I have a page now. I don't really get it. I don't really do social media anymore, apart from book stuff. I don't put any pictures of the baby up or anything, you know. I don't know. It feels weird to do because you can't say it's okay. And it's not like the old days where like you go on Facebook, wouldn't you, and you'd put like 75 photos of you on a night out in an album, and that was social media, and everyone was doing it. It's a bit different now.
I said I've never done there. I guess maybe I was doing nights out before.
Nights out. Didn't you ever go into town on the bus and take 50 photos on a digital camera and put them on Facebook?
No.
An album that was named after like
no.
lyric.
I really got pictures at like music festivals and things, but
you're way cooler than
me. But they're normally weird things. Like I've got a picture of like I used to have these really cool docks that went almost up to my knee.
Oh, what?
We were into this like festival, like Leeds Festival, and it was so wet and so muddy that like my docks, it took me like 14 buckets of water to get them clean. And they got on a picture on Facebook of just my docks like brown.
Were they all right?
No, well, that was kind of like the death knell for them, to be fair. They
just like rotted off.
Yeah, they didn't quite recover completely. These things happen, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I would have worn Converse to that festival if I'd been. It would have been even worse.
Yeah, do you know that is like this year I went to one and it was like really nice.
That's weird this summer, isn't it?
And then it just hammered it down the entire day we were there. And you could like I had trainers on and you could feel them like being sucked.
I was working for an events company because I like freelance chef now, but I was working for I went like this little festival, but they literally on the Friday, Saturday were fine, and then on the Sunday it was so bad they literally closed the site and shut down and just said like, if you've got tickets, don't come, we'll refund you. And they closed the car park and everything. It was just like because the car park was like on a hill. It's just mud bath.
Yeah, they closed the car park at the one I went to, which wasn't a problem for us because we were going on the bus, but they closed the car park on the day. We're like, you can't go. Because that's like it's in a park. It's not on a hill, but it's just in a park.
It's like a muddy thing.
Yeah.
To be fair, I went to a wedding last year, like to work, and we got there in one of the waitresses' cars, and it was on a hill, this wedding venue was like it was just fields with like a little hut on it basically, and tents, and then her car got stuck in the mud, and then we just rolled all the way down the hill into a ditch. Why is all the parking for everything on hills and in mud? I don't know. It's like on this random mountain in Merthyr.
See, these are things you're going to write into later books.
No. I'm like thinking what I can do. I'm trying to think if I want to write something else that's not Dinner Ladies, because I think it'd be nice to do something that's a little bit darker, that's maybe not cozy, but also still quite light in a way, or humorous maybe. I feel like there's got to be some kind of catering thing that can happen.
I think, yeah, I'd be interested to see you write something.
Yeah,
not the Dinner Ladies.
Write anything else.
Do you think you would still keep the catering theme just because that's like your comfort zone, or like?
I think maybe, yeah.
We often not do it at all, like.
Yeah, because the only thing I was like thinking, some of the stories are really funny, but then some of the stories, if you tell people who don't work in catering those stories, they're like horrified. It sounds awful. So I don't know. There's got to be a balance, I think. Between if it's actually funny or not, or if I just think it's funny. Like rolling into a ditch, that wasn't actually that funny at the time.
It's also quite, I mean, the Dinner Ladies, the other thing I like about them is it's just kind of lovely that we've got like Clementine and Marjorie together in it, and it's just quite just in a normalized, kind of cozy, friendly story. I quite like that we're just kind of normalizing all of
I just want it to be like, because that's how I feel like my life is, if you know what I mean. It's just like I have a family, but I just happen to have a wife. That's how I feel about it. And I was like, when I was writing the first one, I was very conscious. I was like, I don't want people, I don't know, I want people to be able to read it without, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm so tired today, so sorry. I wanted people to be able to read it without it with it just being like a normalized thing. And
which it should be.
Normal people, I know, but there are still some bits of society that don't see it as a normal thing. And I was like, maybe if I write a book where it is very normal, then it might help some people who are just reading that think, oh, okay, I haven't seen that perspective before.
Well,
some people say,
I think it does, and it helps people who might be sort of, thinking about things like that as well, because you need to see representatives of yourself in fiction, don't you?
Yeah, and I feel like there isn't that much older LGBT, like there is and there isn't. There's not. I think like there's never enough, is there? But there's not that much older LGBT representation, maybe, as there should be. And I do feel like Marjorie and Clementine would have lived through a time where it wasn't very accepted. So it would be nice to give them kind of like the happy ending together, where they're together and they're married and they were allowed to get married. And because 20 years ago, we wouldn't be able to get married.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right.
When I was at school, it was like when I was at school, I was like, oh, I can't be gay because I can't get married. I'll never have a baby, I'll never have this, blah blah blah. And then now we say I have a wife and a baby, and I'm on the baby's birth certificate, and it's really nice. I'm a nice little life. So I feel like this is the best time. There was a Reddit thing the other day. I was on Reddit and there was like a post and it was like, when was the best time to be a woman in history? And I was like, now. I think it's like the best time to be a gay person is now. Even though it's still bad, like I think obviously the T and the LGBT, they're not having a great time at the moment. There's lots of back and forth with politics and stuff like that, but I feel like it's still better now than it ever has been. We've gone quite deep in this conversation, haven't we?
We have, haven't we? It's one of those things that, when you read stuff like that, I don't I choose my fiction by the stories that I want to read.
Yeah, I do as well.
And my friends by the people I like, and I don't really worry about kind of things about it, if you know what I mean. But it's quite nice to sort of see all the relationships and everything in fiction.
Yeah.
There's more of it, and it's good.
Yeah, I think it's nice, and I do. Yeah, I try and pick just fiction. I just read whatever I want, but I do try and pick LGBT fiction up if I see it, because yeah, there's not loads. There's still not that much.
No, there isn't, is there?
Yeah,
This one's
it's so much better though. Than I would never come out of school. It would have been awful. Can you imagine you'd be like ostracized?
I don't think that happens as much now. I think
I don't think it does. I think it's so good. It's like, yeah, it's nice. I get messages and stuff from people saying like it was really nice to read this book, because we're an older couple or whatever, and that's
most, like you said, they're getting their like happy ever after, even though they weren't always sure they could.
Yeah, because even in the first one, like Marjorie has she talks about how like they adopting a child wouldn't have been the done thing at the time, and I think like even at the time there was still like adoption agencies could still discriminate against gay couples, so it would have been a lot harder for them to adopt. Obviously not impossible, but definitely more difficult. So it's just interesting how times have changed. It would be nice, Marjorie and Clementine, to have their little moment. Their son.
And it's like they sort of cater their own wedding, don't they? Now they've got their own little like almost semi-wedding catering thing going on, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
They could go off and start doing that more, like
wedding catering.
That,
They call it as well. They call it something really stupid as well. They're like some ridiculous wedding caterer that they've decided they're going to be.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, but then that could expand out their horizons. Like they could end up in more places and discover more murders.
Yeah, that'd be quite good actually. It's a good idea. They just go traveling. I think there is a cozy crime series that does that though. I think he's got a camper van though. Oh no, it's Fiona thingy, isn't it? What, Fiona Leach?
Yeah, Fiona Leach has like a traveling caterer.
Jodie thingy. Yeah, she's like a traveling caterer, and that's how she gets into all her scrapes. She's brilliant actually. I really like her books.
I talked to her recently and she's an absolute legend.
Oh, she seems so funny on Instagram, and she did me a quote. Did a quote for the last book 4, and I was like over the moon. And then I got sent her next book, and then I didn't manage to read it in time because all the baby stuff. I just was gutted. I'll message her and say sorry, sauce.
I read her like the first one recently and interviewed her, and she's just
she's so funny. The books are so funny as well.
We're just now like we're just buds now. Absolutely the kind of person you'd want to go for a pint with.
Yeah. And just chat and chat with her.
Yeah,
her books are really funny. I think it's like it's a good concept though, isn't it? Because caterers go everywhere.
Exactly, you could see all sorts of things, couldn't you?
Yeah, it's like someday, like I don't work there anymore because I work in a pub at the moment, which is quite nice because it's a bit more steady. It's easier for my brain than going out on events and stuff. But yeah, we'd go and we'd be in like people's £1 million houses, just in their second kitchen, which was where they just had private dinners being cooked and stuff. It was really, really bizarre, really weird. It's like a different life, obviously, because yeah, it's interesting. And you see like lots of wedding venues, and they're like very different back of house than they are front of house, because obviously in the front it's like the wedding venue's beautiful, isn't it? And in the back of house is like a shed in it that we bought ourselves.
I haven't been in that many wedding venues, to be fair.
The next one, just have a little poke about, because I bet they're all cooking in a marquee in the back with like.
I don't know anyone who's getting married.
No, I don't actually this year. That's weird, actually, isn't it? Has everyone just decided? Is everyone already married? It's just like.
I think all my friends are either already married or like probably not if they're going to.
I feel like I'm at the age where everyone's married now, and then in 10 years people start getting divorced. Hopefully not. Like touch wood.
Hopefully not.
But yeah, it's coming up. I'm getting old. I feel really old at the moment. So I'm 36 in a minute. Next month, I just feel like ancient.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
know.
not. You said when you were born earlier, and I've got at least a decade on you, so don't worry about
I
it.
just feel ancient though. I think it's the baby though, because I feel like because she's 5 months and she's just so little, and I'm like, when you are my age, I'm gonna be like 70. That's horrific, isn't it?
It's all right. These things just come along to make you feel old. I had
Yeah.
my 20th wedding anniversary the other day. I was like, I'm not old enough to be
Oh
married.
my god.
Like,
What, your 20th?
mm,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
it's not a thing. I'm not old
Congratulations.
enough. Like,
No,
no.
you don't look, no, you don't look old enough now. 28? Would you get young? I think you get married at 16, did you?
Yeah, no.
Like Gretna Green ran in. Is it Gretna Green? Yeah, it is like the yellow.
You've been asked if you've got a favourite author.
Oh, I got lots of favourite authors because I got lots of different moods, you know. I think my overall all-time favourite ever is Stephen King because I think I just read so many of his books when I was a child. Like a
Probably
late
when you shouldn't.
teenager. Cozy Crime. Cozy Crime's MC Beaton. She's my favourite.
Well, you can't go wrong with MC.
No.
Which
And I'm
ones though? Or are you equal opportunities? Do you like Hamish Macbeth or
I like, yeah. No,
Raisin?
I like Agatha Raisin more, obviously. Of course. Hamish Macbeth is good though, but there's like 400 books, isn't there? So it's quite hard. I don't think I've read them.
I'm gonna go with the opposite, Hamish.
You like Hamish?
Yeah.
I might try and get some more Hamish ones out because I haven't read that many, and my library's got loads of them next to us. But I got Kindle now, but you can borrow things on Kindle, can't you? Can you?
Yeah, you can pay. You can pay for Kindle Unlimited, and then you can have like 20 books at a time.
Oh, that's too many. Struggle.
Read. Well, you have 20, and then as you return them, do you know what I mean? It like
Oh,
maxes
cool.
out at like 20, and then you can return them.
And the authors get paid for it, don't they, on Amazon?
Yeah.
If you do that.
Yeah, I think they're paid
Like
for
the library, because every time someone lends a book from the library, I get payment. I think it's like, I think last year it was 9p or something. So it's pretty good. It's quite nice. It's like, ah. And then you get a payment once a year, like, oh, that's nice.
which is good to know, isn't it? Because I think people
People are like, oh, I'm sorry, I had to loan it from the library. I'm like, no, please do, because like I probably get, yeah, like it adds up quite a lot. I think there was like, I had like, I think I had just over 10,000 loans last year. That's quite a lot. I think that's 9p. It's a lot. It's like a couple of £100, isn't it? Well, more than that. So it's like every little bit. I use the library all the time.
It's good. I don't use the library.
I got one right in the house there. It's like next to Asda. It's like the first thing you come to outside after I leave the house, you know. So I've got no excuse.
Yeah, that makes sense. Whereas I have to go to town to go.
Yeah, it's a pain then, isn't it?
So it's less convenient.
Do you read a lot on Kindle? Or do you have a lot of paperbacks? This is why I got the Kindle the other day, because I was like, and then every time I get a lot of publishers email now and say, would you read a copy of this? And I'm like, I'd love to, but I'm running out of space in the house. So I'm like, if you could send an ebook, it's like better for the environment, I guess, as well, isn't it? Because I haven't got my whole house isn't like a fire risk if I've got so many paperbacks and hardbacks.
Yeah, I've got a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, and I'll probably read it again if it's on Kindle, because I tend to finish a book and then put it away on a shelf, and then I forget because it's overwhelming to look at a shelf.
I got told to like sort mine out and tidy up a bit because my husband's like, we are going to die under a pile of your books.
I put loads of them in the attic, and then I was like, was that crack in the ceiling before? I was like, I don't know. I took them all back out. I was like, oh, because it's not boarded in our loft. I was like, I've broken the ceiling without realising. I don't know. I get it boarded. And I'll put them all back up there. It'll be fine. All the ceiling will fall in. All of them, isn't it?
Some of my books.
I'm at my mum's house, so I can't even show you my books.
Well, it's just like they're some of the red ones.
Oh my god, is that your red pile?
Yeah, a little bit. They're like ones to keep.
There's a pile on my bedside table that's just from when I went to Crime Fest because they get, and I bought a lot of books there as well. I think the only one I've read is Alice Bell, the second one. What was it called? Displeasure Island. Have you read
And
those?
no, I haven't, but they look like
It's so
exactly the kind of
funny.
books I like to read. So
Yeah, it's really like the kind of humour in it reminds me of The Simpsons. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of humour.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't explain, but that's what it reminds me of. I think that's why I like it so much.
I'm
It's
trying to
very.
think if I bought anything at Harrogate.
Did you not? Did you get given? Did you get a gift bag though? Did you?
No, no, no. I just go
It's
with.
just solemn.
Well, no, I did actually. I bought Bridget Walsh's. I bought Bridget Walsh's new book.
Oh, what's that?
Like The Innocent. She's got like a Victorian.
Oh, have you? Well, I was going to ask you because I'm really behind on reading because so what I've read recently is I've read this book called The Other Mother. I've read a book about weaning. No, two books about weaning, and I read Displeasure Island. Oh, and I read Knife Skills for Beginners by Orlando Moore, and that was really good. He was at Crime Fest. He was really lovely.
I guess you'd appreciate his as well with the catering.
Yeah, and it's no, and I was like, yes, reading it like yes. It's nice because obviously he's a chef, isn't he? So it was like sometimes when you read a book that has a chef in it, you can tell that the writer isn't a chef because they're like he's cutting an onion with a carving knife or something, and you wouldn't be able to do that without looking mad. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I really liked it. I liked the little recipes in it. I thought it was really cute.
Oh, it's the recipes.
Yeah,
Is on my that's on my pile of books to read as well.
he is lovely as well. And yeah, so I did a panel with him and Ian Moore was there. I met Ian Moore, who I've spoken to online before, but I've never met. So that was very nice. I saw actually quite a few people at Crime Fest. It's very nice.
Apparently, Orlando Murren's got a second book out next year.
Is he? Is it the same series? Because I'd like to read that.
I would imagine it will be. Sarah might like it.
It was good. And I read. Oh, do you know what? I did How to Kill Your Family by Mackie on audiobook. And I read. I met Jo Middleton at Crime Fest. It's all about Crime Fest because it's the only time I've been out this year. And she's got a book coming out called Happy Bloody Christmas, and it is so funny. It's like I think it's cozy, but it's also like just really irreverent humor. There's a bit in it where like obviously this isn't a spoiler because you know from the beginning, but so the murder victim's been stabbed and he's dressed like Santa, but everyone, like the whole family, are really upset because the knife that he was stabbed with is part of like a John Lewis set and they can't buy the knife again. It's like that kind of thing on the way through it. I thought it was so funny. So if you like stuff like that, you should definitely. It's a good Christmas book. I don't know. I think it's coming out. It's either out now or it's out in August. They all come out in August, don't they? Christmas books, don't they?
Do they? Is that when yours came out?
Yeah.
Did you deliberately set to write one at Christmas, like on purpose? Were you like, I'm going to have a Christmas book?
Yeah. So Sian, who is my editor, but she isn't. She's just left Canelo. I'm absolutely gutted that she's left. But it's coming out in October. I don't know why mine came out. I was early, very early. She said when she picked up Den Ladies, the first one, she said, "Can you do a series?" I said, "Yeah." Even though I didn't know if I could write another one because you can write one, can't you? But I was like, "Can I write two?" And then she was like, "What would you do the series on?" And I was like, "Christmas and they go on holiday," and that was like my pitch. It was a bit more detailed than that, but that's pretty much it. I want to do another Christmas one. This is part of the reason I don't want to finish at 7 because I want to do another Christmas one.
Do you? You could do other holidays as well. So you could do a Halloween one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I kind of did that in the fourth one, didn't I? But I don't think I did it.
You did. No, you did it. It was really good. Like there was a Halloween party and things like that.
More Halloween. Halloween's great.
Yeah. You do
But
more
then, I wanted
holidays.
to do an Easter one, and they were like, you can't do all holidays because it's mad.
But I feel like the Din ladies would do something for Easter.
It'd be like all hot cross buns. I feel like they'd do something for St. David's Day, do you know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, St. David's Day, Welsh cake murder or something.
That might be going a bit far on the holidays.
I don't know. I think it came out in August because there's like a build up to it, isn't it? Because Canelo are an independent publisher. I think they like to have a build up before stuff like that to get the momentum.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So people have been asking me about audiobooks, and they are going to come. They are coming for 4 and 5. So people are waiting for 4 and 5. They've been made now. I had word about it this week. So I'm very excited. Because what happened was there was a contract for the first 3, and there's obviously a contract. It's a separate contract because it's different audiobook publisher. It's all very complicated stuff that I don't really do.
Do you get to say in who voices them though?
So it's Jenny. I want to say, is it, how do you pronounce it? Fanal, but she's amazing. Maybe you should listen to number 2 rather than read. And do you like audiobooks? If you like audiobooks, she's really, really good. She makes it funny.
I'm not an audiobook person.
Oh, okay. I quite like it. I like it at the moment. I like it in the car. I think it's been quite hard to read at the moment with the baby. But now that she's nearly 6 months, it's kind of like we're getting a little bit of our lives back. Like she goes to bed at 7. So we have like a little bit in the evening where I can read and stuff. It's quite nice. I was doing quite a few audiobooks. So obviously I was like worried about what was playing her as well. But I shouldn't worry. I don't know why I'm worried about that. Because she listens to whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I think being exposed to books from an early age is good.
Yeah, she's got loads of books. She just puts them in her mouth though. She's not really there yet.
No.
Like put the whole thing in there. She likes the squishy ones, you know. Maybe I'm not going to force her to read, but I would. Yeah, I'm just going to have it. You've got to have it available, haven't you, so that she can. Because I feel like if you try and force someone to do something, they don't want to do it.
I also think that you're more likely to, like, my family are all quite big readers, and I definitely think I got like a love of books from.
Yeah, it's the same. My mum's a really big reader. She's like constantly reading on Kindle. My sister's a big reader. My sister was a big writer, actually. To be fair, she did a master's in creative writing.
So she's quite helpful.
Yeah, she was like the one who told me about loads of different rules that you're supposed to follow with story planning that I don't do. But her husband's like a scriptwriter as well, a screenwriter. And it's really useful to ask him stuff. But yeah, she doesn't write anymore. At the moment she's got 2 young kids and she does wedding makeup and wedding hair, so she's mega busy. But I bet at some point she'll write something.
Well, it's really mega busy at the moment, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's constant. But
it's kind of the season, isn't it?
Yeah. She's like, and because she lives in London, it's like people get married all days of the week, don't they? Not just Saturday, Sunday.
No, I feel like I got married on like a Friday or something.
I got married on a Thursday, I think.
I don't actually remember. It
was 2020. People are like, when did you get married? I'm like, 4 years ago, because it's 2020. I really remember because it was COVID and everything was weird and we could only have 30 people. And then because my brothers lived somewhere that was like in quarantine. So they came for the ceremony and then had to leave. But they were allowed to come to the ceremony. It was really random. It was weird rules.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Memorable wedding.
I got married in 2004, obviously.
Oh yeah, of course.
2024? Yeah. How I worked it out. How long it was this year.
Oh my god, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, like wow. You've been asked how you keep track of your characters over the series.
I have a big Excel document that just has characters in it, and then I do one for each one, and then I'll just kind of take the old one and delete the bits I don't need anymore, but just keep everyone recurring in there with like their date of birth and eye color and hair color and traits. And then in the next page, I'll keep up with the storyline, and I have word count diary in there to check that I'm actually writing enough. So otherwise you get people wrong, don't you? Because there's a problem at the moment, because I've been writing a dog character as a different breed than it was in the first book.
Really?
Like, book 6 is like, the dog's wrong. Oh no. So because book 1 I didn't do that, because I didn't plan for any of it really. So yeah, kind of wish I had now, I'll say.
Yeah, wow. That's quite a
conundrum, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, but they're a Yorkshire Terrier, and then every other book they're a Jack Russell.
Has anyone noticed, or?
But they won't yet. They will in 6 when it comes out.
And you will get someone who'll know and write.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's fine.
Do you ever get anyone question kind of like the catering stuff with you? Do you ever get anyone write in and go, oh, you got that wrong?
Not really. I had
That's like your specialism. I'm wondering if you still get picked up on stuff.
There was one where someone was like, well, they should have a camera inside the fridge if someone's going to get locked in there. And I was like, yeah, but no. No, I don't think I have actually. But I think it's been pretty accurate.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be.
Yeah.
I just wondered if you'd get someone, you know, like.
I don't think there's much. I think I've probably got more wrong with like the school than the canteen bit of it.
I wouldn't hold it against you if you got something wrong.
So I know bits about school, and I can ask, like, you know, I can ask my sisters who my sister is a teacher, or like my mum was a teacher, but you can't be too realistic in the school either, can you? Because nothing would ever happen. I have a lot of like, oh, they've got a security guard, but it's supposed to be a quiet little school. And yeah, I need a security guard so this other bit of the plot can work. So,
a lot of schools do have something like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of schools do, don't they, really?
I worked in a teeny tiny school, and we had a school police officer.
Did you?
Hmm.
Did they do much? Or
well, because of the type of school it was, yes, they did. But it was an interesting place to work.
That says it all, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. We won't go into any more detail.
No. Yeah, because that's the other thing. So now the security guard's married to Sarah, isn't he? So it's gonna like, yeah, or we planning to. It's all kind of, So that going back to the, can you read the book separately? Yeah, you can, but I suppose
you are going to get spoilers about relationships.
Yeah, and like other things.
I guess it's how much you place on knowing those.
Like the little bits about people, because otherwise it's kind of like The Simpsons, isn't it? Where every episode it starts again, and Bart's 10 and Lisa's 8, and they've been going for 30 years, and it's exactly the same.
Yeah, it's going to be, because you kind of leave stuff quite interestingly in this one, don't you, for like the next book. So I think
that would be a spoiler to say, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm not going there. No spoilers.
The end of book 5 really does line it up for what's going to happen in 6, where everything is going to change. I think a lot of things change.
You've got about a minute left of our chat. So remind people what they're going to go away and buy.
Yeah, well, if you want to, it's called A Gravely Troubling Discovery, and it came out on the 1st of August. And it's a cozy crime about Marjorie and Clementine, who are a married couple working at Somerview Secondary School, and their team of delays, and they kind of solve murders as the delayed detectives.
Sarah said thank you for the entertaining chat.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
So
Gravely just troubling discovery. Hard to get out at the end of an hour's chat. Also brilliant, absolutely brilliant book.
Thank you so much. It's so lovely to be on here again. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me.